Alright, I'm back. And there's no stream yesterday because yesterday was a difficult shift. Anyways, something to keep in mind is that tonight I'm going to be going out to drink. And going out drinking, I should say. And I might not stream the following morning if I have a really bad hangover. But I normally don't have hangovers, so that shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I don't see that being anything. Anyways, I was blending the colors together. Pretty clear I did so on left, or rather his right hand. And I was finishing up the left hand. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. Yeah, I just finished that area. Oh, let me go ahead and fix that area. There we go. I only did this as well, so sorry I had this color selected. Let me go ahead and select the other one. Thought about changing the title of the streams to bring to blending layer instead of color layer, but considering that I'm still technically coloring and the drawing, decided maybe it doesn't matter all that much. I just leave it like that for now. I'll be drinking a lot of vodka tonight. I may or may not order a bar pizza as well, but we'll see. Depends on how badly I want to get drunk. There we go. And this is a hard edge because that's part of his cuff of his glove. Gonna leave it like that. This is a little more blended. There we have it. Get a little more confident with, you know, putting these analogous colors together. Bridging colors, whatever the term is for it. So because these two colors have three colors in between, I'm going to try to squeeze in all three of these colors to have a natural gradient here. Oops. Yeah, so something like that. Potential gradient. Gonna be kind of hard. This size of brush, so I'm just gonna do that instead. Alrighty. And then I guess I should drink my caffeine while I'm doing this, so as not to waste time doing it later. Not just at the, but it'd be nice to have something. Some refreshment while I'm doing this, because it requires a lot of my concentration, and after waking up an hour ago. I just don't have that right now. Okay. Oof. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to take this off. There we go. Can you tell that I just woke up? Let me get another big sip of this. Wow. I wonder what would have happened if I didn't down my monster. I wonder if I would have still noticed that. You would think after staring at the settings for 10 minutes straight that I would have noticed that the stream starting note was still on, but apparently not. It's all good. Nice. Seems to be no in between of these two, except just slightly. About the best I can do. I'm gonna have to make a completely separate palette just to bridge these colors together, or just make the value scale longer and just use every other value when it comes to coloring and blending colors together. I was just listening to some chill hop a few minutes ago, and I gotta say, it does bring a sense of comfort. I want to call it nostalgic. I don't view my memories of college as, good memories, or, good times, but nevertheless, though. Lo-fi hip-hop was one of the things that kept me going during those times. That and heavy metal. And it's funny how I don't listen to either nowadays. Mostly have just been listening to EDM, reggae, and jazz. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think my musical taste depends on, or I wouldn't say musical taste, more like musical preference. It's dependent on the setting I'm in, stress levels, mood, and so on. think that applies to everyone, but when it comes to the playlist that I put on, or either just, you know, gaming in my free time or doing anything else, I'll just put on whatever I'm in the mood for. And that will change quite a lot. Not that I'm an emotionally unstable person, but each day, thus, my mood will change. More times than I could care to count. And I'm okay with that. Oops. I just realized that I'm supposed to, do 2 colors. So yeah, after I make that hard edge there. This. Okay. Like that. I'm supposed to do the same with this. I did buy a bunch of games because of the holiday sale, both on GOG and Steam, and I'm hoping to get to play them sometime soon. Psychonauts 2 was on sale for 25% off, but even then, the original game is only a few hours long, even if you try to collect everything in the game. Even if you become a completionist in the original game, it only still took about somewhere between 5 to 8 hours, depending on your skill level. And of course, you know, whether or not you played the game before. I may not play the game before. If you've watched the show on a now defunct TV channel called G4 TV, and the show is called Cheat. On that show, there's an episode related to Psychonauts, and if you watched that episode, then you would know, even before playing the game, where the scavenger hunt items would be, how to get them. Which would, of course, help make the process of completing the game much faster. But even then, even if you haven't watched the show, all that, it's still not a difficult game to play. So I just didn't want to just cruise through it in such a short time and then pay nearly full price for it. Not that I'm cheap or anything, but I mean, if I could pay $45 for 5 different games, which I've probably spent about nearly that much, 35, or 5 to 10 games on both stores in total, then I mean, which would you rather choose, right? It's not like I'm picking like just random games and such. The other 10 or so games that I've bought are pretty much games I've played in the past as well, like Deus Ex Human Revolution, Prototype 2, what else? Sleeping Dogs, and some others. And I'm hoping to get a few more on the Christmas sales. I'm expecting Psychonauts 2 to be on sale again during that month of December. I'm hoping the discount will be higher, so I have more of an incentive. If it was around 50 to 65% off, then I'd buy it just immediately. Because, you know, then, hey, like, you know, I can actually justify the price with the amount of content in the game, or at least, you know, my playtime would be on the first playthrough. Not only that, though, it's not just, you know, a matter of paying full or half price for a game. It's also a matter of saving that money for something else. In this case, for tonight, I'm going to be wanting to go out drinking, and I want to have as much vodka as I can down. So, you have to understand, when I go out to drink, I'm not doing it for any other reason than to get wasted as possible until I can't even walk properly. So, because what's the point of drinking then? It's like smoking weed, you know, what's the point of smoking it if you're not going to get high? If I do any drug at all, you're not going to actually get intoxicated by it. Beautiful. And up close it looks a little muddy, but from a distance, if I zoom out, in a way where, yeah, it looks natural. It flows together. And it doesn't look like this where the colors are isolated. It blends nicely. Very time-consuming process, but for some people it's worth it. Me, it's only worth it if I can actually do it correctly. Might have to update my playlist because I have a lot more video game soundtracks, and I think I'm just going to start playing those tracks only. Hype myself up for other games. I even bought the Postal movie. The one that I forgot how to pronounce his name. Ua or Bowl? Something. I hate to butcher people's names, but anyways, yeah, that guy that directed the Postal movie, yeah, I bought that one, and I'm looking forward to watching it. And surprisingly, yeah, it was also on sale. So. Oh yeah. Looking great. It was a really big mistake, by the way, to not make the background some sort of dark color. Dark neutral color. But I can fix it easily later. Once I get rid of not get rid of, but once I get finished coloring in these, not coloring, blending in these yellow gloves, I mean, that's pretty much the biggest issue when it comes to having a bright colored background. But then it's not going to matter. Not even halfway through this stream and I'm already almost done with the gloves, I should say. You know what's a game series I wish was on PC? And the last game in the series, so to speak, even though I think it's supposed to be a spiritual successor or a spinoff. Is Ninja Gaiden series, Ninja Gaiden. I'm not sure how to pronounce the title, but they're not Japanese, but nevertheless, no. Oops. Yeah, the Ninja Gaiden series. I wish that was on PC. Because those are some really difficult games to play. At least that's what people said back then, but nowadays, when it comes to the difficulty of video games, people use Dark Souls as a standard compare to. So, and before Dark Souls, I think it was Ninja Gaiden. And then before Ninja Gaiden, it was Battletoads. But I could be completely wrong about all that. The Dark Souls part. Unless that's changed as well, but... what was I saying? Alright, the Ninja Gaiden series. If you don't know, the Ninja Gaiden series was a hack and slash game. I don't know if people will use that term anymore, but yeah, it was part of the hack and slash genre back in the 2000s for the 6th generation consoles. And if you want a game, an example of that, an example of a game from that genre, think God of War or Devil May Cry. Those kinds of games, right? That's what the 2000s Ninja Gaiden games were. And that series was based off of another series of games under the same title called Ninja Gaiden. And the original Ninja Gaiden games were platformers, 2D platformers, Metroid-like games, I think. Or at least, more like Mega Man. Anyways. The Ninja Gaiden games, at least for the first two, I never played the third one because the third one was, not great, as great as the first two. Feature a lot of boss battles and enemies that, would do things like jump around, block your attacks, on random anyways. There was no visual indicator that they were going to do any of that stuff. They just did it, and you just kind of had to deal with it. Not like today's standard of enemy design in games, but I digress. What was I saying? The point of the game, I guess the brief plot of the game is you are Ryu or EU Hayabusa. I've heard someone saying that you don't pronounce the name RYU as Ryu, you pronounce it as EU. The R is silent. Anyways, EU Hayabusa, a ninja from the Hayabusa clan. Yeah, very original name. Anyways, his village gets destroyed by some samurai demon lord guy. I forgot his name. His whole clan gets destroyed. So think Sasuke, right, from Naruto, if you know what Naruto is. And Hayabusa wants to take his revenge and tries to hunt down that demon lord samurai dude and fight him to the death. And along the way, there is what the Japanese call Oni invasion of sorts. Well, it starts to begin the invasion starts to begin anyways, into the real world, or not the real world, Earth. And EU puts a stop to that demon invasion along the way, and without spoiling too much, that's basically the plot of the game, is just stopping all these demon lords and enemies from essentially trying to invade Earth. I guess it's more like a Japanese hack and slash version of Doom. Because you actually do end up going to the demon world. I forgot what it's called. That's not hell, it's something else. I distracted myself while talking about this game, but can't help it. Like, it brings back good memories. And yeah, and it's not just about fighting enemies and bosses. There's also puzzle elements and platforming bits as well. Get to ninja flip your way across rooftops and into other areas and solve, again, puzzles that are often booby trapped. So, you know, if you don't solve it correctly, you either take a lot of damage or you just straight up die. And I guess what's fun about the game is that it incorporates all those different elements together pretty well, in my opinion. And the game is challenging, of course. There's no RPG elements to speak of, but there is a lot of upgrading, a lot of weapons you can use. There's even a wooden sword that, after upgrading it enough times, becomes pretty powerful. It's not game breaking or anything, but it becomes pretty powerful. And it's cool. And while the vanilla original Ninja Gaiden, 2000s Ninja Gaiden game was cool and everything, there was a updated Ninja Gaiden Black version that had more content put into it. And in Ninja Gaiden Black, you had a lot of training modes. Not training modes, challenge modes. Challenges to complete, more weapons and items to unlock and use, and more enemy types as well, and even more difficulty modes, in case if the vanilla game was too easy for you. And if I can find some footage of it, I think I'll make a video about it. I guess make a video explaining why I think there should be a PC port of those games. But I'm not the only fan that thinks that. There have been other content creators that talked about the lack of PC ports for that series. There was even at one point, the last time I ever heard anything about any news related to Ninja Gaiden, it was the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game spin-off that Koei Tecmo or Team Ninja, whoever, was developing for the Nintendo Switch specifically. It's supposed to be a console exclusive thing, which bummed me out, but nevertheless, I was just happy that, oh, that's not good. Okay, cool. We're good. I was just excited that there's another game featuring, you know, all of those characters. Anyways, that was the last time I ever heard of it. And then I did some more research, I think sometime earlier this year, and found out that there was a spiritual successor or a spin-off, one of those two, for for the series, and that game was so different from the 2000s games that nobody really liked it all that much. And therefore, I think Team Ninja just decided to give up on the series after that, which is sad. But nevertheless, though, I completely understand why they would, decide not to continue working on it. Especially, I think now that they got another. I think they're working for. I think they worked on Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And again, that was also a Switch exclusive, console exclusive game. So I don't think they even work on either the Dead or Alive fighting game series or the Ninja Gaiden series. But nevertheless, though. Those are some pretty good games. At least the first two. The third one was not so much. It was, and the reason why the third Ninja Gaiden game was not really all that great was because it was following all those tropes that existed back in the late 2000s and the seventh generation consoles. And what I mean by that is, it was heavily influenced by games like The Last of Us and Uncharted, where they had one of the biggest complaints I should say, was that there was way too many, what's the word, button prompts. The cutscenes that forced the player to press a button in a timed fashion. See, that's the thing though, that used to be a trope that existed during that generation of games, but now we don't see that anymore because everyone, finally agreed that that was just a dumb concept to having cutscenes of games. A lot of developers just stopped putting it into a lot of video games. Button execution something. The term has button and execution on it in the title, but I can't remember what it is exactly. Anyways, it had those in the cutscenes, and not just the cutscenes, but also in the gameplay itself. It just made the game way too annoying to play because of that. Because the game is already, like, the original two games there was a lot of combat involved, and the cutscenes were used to give the player a break, right, in between fights, in between areas, to take a breather. But with those button prompts during those cutscenes and cinematics, like, the player essentially just never got that breather that they needed, and as a result, it's just came way too exhausting to play. Oh man, I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be back. Alright, sorry about that. I had to take a wicked dump, and turns out that all those vegetables I ate last night for dinner were made my poop turn green. So, at least I know my innards are clean from all that fiber, but it's still just. If you saw it, if you saw it, you would think that I was some sort of mutant or something. That's how green it was. Anyways, I'm sorry if you're eating while you're watching this VOD. But anyways, I was going on and on about Ninja Gaiden, but I guess my point is that there needs to be a PC port of it. It's a great game series if you can get your hands on the original 2000s copies. Oh, and one other thing too, both the vanilla and the Ninja Gaiden Black version of the the first Ninja Gaiden 2000s game allows the player to unlock the original Ninja Gaiden game. I think all three original Ninja Gaiden games from the 80s or 90s, the retro ones, which was cool because you actually got to experience some of the series history, and it's not really special nowadays because a lot of publishers and game developers will add their older portfolio to their newer titles, but back then though that was not very common. Alright, what do I want to work on next? I guess this. Yeah, let's just start with this. Let's see. I mean, we still get to see your EU Hayabusa and Dead or Alive series, Dead or Alive 6 specifically, its latest release, but still, I mean, it would be nice to see him in his own games. The same goes for Sam Fisher and for the Splinter Cell series. Like, it's great that he's making cameos in other of Ubisoft's titles, like Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six, but the dude needs his own games again. And while there are some people that have stated that at this point Sam should just either retire or just let a younger protagonist take over, and I do agree with that, wholeheartedly. But regardless though, I just want another Splinter Cell game, and one that's a lot like the original trilogy. First one, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory. Not to say that the others past Chaos Theory were terrible or bad, except Essentials, that apparently is well known to be pretty bad. But rest like Double Agent, Conviction, and Blacklist are not terrible games in and of themselves. They're just different from the original formula. Because of that, some die-hard, I shouldn't say die-hard, but some hardcore stealth action fans, let's not say Splinter Cell fans, but stealth action fans, really did not like the titles. Didn't really like Conviction, let's just put it that way. Double Agent was seen as a mediocre sequel to Chaos Theory, and then Blacklist was sort of a return to form, sort of a means of going back to that Chaos Theory formula, but they just include a bunch of modern AAA nonsense that just doesn't fit in the series. And I remember specifically complaining about this, right? When I was playing Blacklist, was that why on earth would Ubisoft Montreal decide to, I don't know if it was actually Montreal that developed Blacklist, but nevertheless though, why on earth would Ubisoft give Sam all of these guns when literally throughout the first 3 titles he was more than capable of just using 2 of them, right? Two guns, the SC 2000K and the SC pistol. Forgot what the rest of it was, what caliber or bullet size the gun, the pistol he used. But anyways, he only had 2 guns, and even then he didn't have this stockpile of ammo that he could load up and just blast all of the guards with. That's not how the game was, the original games were designed. You had to make every bullet count, so you weren't able to just pick up you weren't able to pick up other enemies' guns, right? And it would defeat the purpose of having to micromanage your ammo. And 2, using your guns was counterproductive anyways, in most situations, because you want to be as silent as possible. You want to leave as little evidence that you were even in the area you're sneaking in as possible. And the guns make a lot of noise, so again, it'll make sneaking a lot harder. Staying undetected a lot more difficult. And that was my biggest complaint with Blacklist. It's like they brought in some of the good stuff from Chaos Theory, but again, why would I need all these guns? Most of the time, I'm not going to use them anyways, because I'm not looking forward to just blasting at all my enemies with them. I don't even remember if there was any missions that specifically required the player to use non-lethal means to deal with guards. I think throughout the entire game, it was completely fine to just let the player do whatever they want. And as a result, there was no real repercussions, no consequences or penalties to playing like that. And while that's not out of place for a stealth action game, because that exists in the Hitman series, even the original Hitman games, Hitman Codename 47, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, Hitman Contracts, Hitman Blood Money. Like, you were able to play like that. Granted, it was not very rewarding to do so, because it made the game too easy, or it just didn't allow you, at least in Contracts anyways, to unlock some of the more cooler weapons as rewards for playing stealthily, stealth-like. But yeah, I mean, the whole 3 playstyles in Blacklist, Ghost, Panther, those 2 make sense because those have already existed in the original games, even going back to the first one, right? But the Assault, or whatever it was called, combat playstyle, it just didn't make any sense. Because what's the point of being a secret stealth operative if you're just gonna make the whole enemy compound you're trying to infiltrate know your location, know that you're there? That just doesn't make any sense.